Now this is lecture 3 of chapter sound, and in this lecture we will study about the characteristics of sound. Two sounds can be distinguished from one another by the following three characteristics. One is loudness, second is pitch or shrillness, the third is quality or timbre. The first characteristic, that is loudness. Loudness is the characteristic by virtue of which a loud sound can be distinguished from a faint one, both having same pitch and quality. Now, if a tuning fork is struck softly, a feeble sound is heard. But when the same tuning fork is struck hard, a loud sound is heard. Just see here in this graph, this is a graph showing for the first one is showing for the soft note and the second one is showing for the loud note. Now both are having the same waveform, that is the waveform is this one, waveform is this one. Now in the y-axis we have taken displacement. You can see that the first one is showing you small amplitude and the second one is showing a large amplitude. Now the large amplitude corresponds to the loud note and the small amplitude corresponds to the soft note. Okay, so in the figure above, two waves have the same frequency and the same waveform, but they differ in amplitude. The higher amplitude corresponds to the louder sound. Intensity. What is intensity? The intensity of a sound wave at a point of the medium is the amount of sound energy passing per second. Sound energy passing per second normally through a unit area at that particular point. Okay, so the unit of intensity is watt meter to the power -2. That means watt per meter square. Now sound energy passing per second. Energy passing per second is nothing but what? It is the power energy per second and normally through a unit area, that is meter square. So watt per meter square is the unit. The intensity of ordinary sound is 10 to the power -6 watt per meter square, and minimum intensity of sound audible to our ears is 10 to the power -12 watt per meter square. Greater the energy carried by the sound wave, greater is the intensity. Okay. The intensity of sound wave in air is proportional to, this is important, the square of the amplitude of vibration and the square of the frequency of vibration and the density of air and the velocity of sound in air. This you have to learn. The intensity is proportional to the square of the amplitude of vibration, the square of the frequency of vibration and the density of the air and the velocity of the sound in air. Subjective nature of loudness. Loudness is a subjective property. Loudness is subjective in nature. It depends on the energy transferred by the sound wave near the eardrum of the listener and on the ear sensitivity of the listener to sound. So it is depending upon person to person. It is varying from person to person. It is the ear sensitivity of the listener to the sound. Thus, same sound wave may appear to be different loudness to different listeners. Similarly, two sound waves of same intensity but with different frequencies may differ in loudness even to the same listeners. Loudness is subjective as it depends on the listener, but intensity is objective as it is a measurable quantity. We can measure intensity, so it is objective in nature. And the loudness is a subjective is nature because it is the energy transferred by the sound wave near the eardrum to the listener and it is depending on the ear sensitivity of the listener. But intensity is the amount of sound energy that is passing per second normally through a unit area at a particular point. So you can measure that. It's a measurable quantity. So you can say that loudness is a subjective property, but intensity is an objective property. Factors affecting loudness of sound. Loudness is proportional to the square of the amplitude. Very important. Loudness varies inversely as the square of the distance from the source. At a close distance, a sound is louder, but becomes feeble at a longer distance. I think you have understood that. Loudness depends on the surface area of the vibrating body. A large surface area sends forth greater amount of energy. This is the reason why bell in schools, temples, etc. are made big in size. Because if that vibrating body is, the surface area is big enough, we can get a loud sound. It will produce a loud sound. Loudness depends on the density of the medium. More the density of the medium, more is the loudness. And loudness depends on the presence of resonating body. Resonance increases loudness. So again I am saying what I said, loudness is proportional to the square of amplitude. Loudness is inversely proportional to the square of the distance from the source. Loudness depends on the surface area of the vibrating body. Larger the surface area, loudness will be more. Loudness depends on the density of the medium. More the density of the medium, the loudness is also more. And loudness depends on the presence of resonating body. If the resonance will take place, then we will get a loud sound. Pitch or shrillness and frequency. Pitch is the characteristic of sound by which an acute or shrill note can be distinguished from a grave, flat note of the same loudness. Suppose the loudness is same, the pitch is the characteristics which can distinguish an acute sound, acute note, that is the shrill one, and a grave, that is a flat note. That characteristics is known as pitch. Now pitch is considered only with respect to musical sound. Okay, for musical sound only the pitch is considered. Now pitch of a note depends on its frequency. Two notes sounded on the same instrument with same amplitude will differ in pitch when their vibration is of different frequencies. What do you mean by frequency? Number of vibration in 1 second. Okay, you can see in this figure, this is the frequency, means in 1 second the frequency is, it is vibrating in this way. Okay, but you can see that for fog B, the frequency is twice than the frequency of the first one. Am I clear? So if it is having the frequency f, this is having the frequency 2f. So this is a low pitch sound and this is a high pitch sound. The figure above shows two waves with same intensity but different pitches. One with the lower frequency is a low pitch note and the other with the higher frequency, that is just double of the first one, is a high pitch note. Some examples of change in pitch. In stringed musical instrument, the pitch of a musical note may be changed by changing the tension and thickness of the string. Okay, if the tension is more, then you will get a shrill sound. If the tension is less, you will get a flat sound. Similarly, if you increase the thickness of the string, you will get a flat sound. Next, in a flute, a lower note may be obtained by closing few holes so that the length of the air column increases. Okay. Next, as a water pitcher gets filled up under a tap, the frequency of the sound becomes shriller as the air column length decreases when the pitcher gets filled up. Actually, what is happening, suppose this is your pitcher, you are just filling it with water. When the water is coming and filling this part, okay, then the length of the air column is from here to here. Now when it is becoming full, suppose it is coming here, so your air column is from here to here. And that means what? You are decreasing the length of the air column. As you are decreasing the length of the air column, you are getting a shrill sound. Okay, so it is said that the frequency of the sound becomes shriller as the air column length decreases. So you will get a shrill sound and you can understand that now the pitcher is filled and now we have to close the tap. Okay, have you understood? First this was the air column and now only this much is the air column. So you are decreasing the length of the air column. If you are decreasing the length of the air column, shriller will be the sound. Now, subjective nature of pitch and objective nature of frequency. Pitch is subjective. It is a subjective property varying from person to person. But frequency is a measurable quantity, so it is an objective nature. Now see that pitch is different from frequency. It is subjective. Pitch depends on the ear sensitivity again of the listener. The sound with same frequency may be perceived differently by different listeners. For someone, the same sound, for someone it is shriller, for someone it is not. So it is depending upon, it is varying upon person to person. But frequency is a subjective property because it's a measurable quantity that depends on the source producing the sound. It has nothing to do with the listener's hearing sensitivity. number of time vibration in 1 second. So you can measure it. It's a measurable quantity. So it's an objective property, but pitch is depending upon the ear sensitivity. So it is a subjective property. I think I'm clear to you. Now next is sound quality and waveform. Quality or timbre distinguishes between two sounds of same loudness, and pitch. Suppose you are getting two sound of same loudness and pitch, but they're emitted by two different sources. You can distinguish between them, that these two sounds are different. Okay. Why? Because their waveforms are different. They're giving you different waveforms. Now see this figure. This figure shows the wave pattern of two sound of same loudness. That means loudness means same amplitude. And same pitch. That means same frequency. But emitted by two different sources. Just see the figure. Now see, the first one we are getting from a different source, and this is the second one is also we are getting from a different source. These two we are getting from two different sources, but both of their amplitude are same. See, this is also amplitude A, this is also having amplitude A, and their frequency is also same. Just see that their frequency is also same. You can understand that by seeing the graph. But you see their waveforms are different. One is like this and the other one is like this. Okay, the pattern is different. Though they are having same frequency, though they are having same amplitude, that means their loudness and their pitch both are same, but they are giving you two different types of waveforms. They produce different sensation on our ear as because they differ in waveform, where one is sine wave and the other is a triangular wave. This is known as sine wave and this is known as triangular wave. So we can distinguish these two sounds, and you can say that they are coming from two different sources, though they are having same loudness and same pitch. So this is giving you the sound quality, and waveform is also different, and that is why it is giving you a different sound quality. Something more about waveform. Only a tuning fork emits sound of a single frequency. A tuning fork emits a sound of a single frequency which is known as monotone. But the sound from an instrument does not contain a note of single frequency, but it contains a combination of vibrations of different frequencies and amplitude. So from an instrument we are getting a combination of vibrations of different frequencies. Now you see the vibration of the lowest frequency and maximum amplitude is called principal or fundamental vibrations. So what I said, the vibration of lowest frequency and maximum amplitude. Please remember that, it is very important. The vibration of lowest frequency and maximum amplitude is called the principal or fundamental vibration. And the vibrations of frequency integer multiple of it are called subsidiary or secondary vibrations. What is that? What is the integer multiple? That means suppose the fundamental vibration or the principal vibration, suppose it is 256 Hertz. Then from an instrument we are not getting a vibration only for 256 Hertz. Okay, we will get along with 256 Hertz, that frequency, we will get some other frequency also which is integral multiple of the fundamental one, principal one. That means we can get, maybe we can get the frequency of 256 into 2, that is 512 Hertz. We can get 256 into 3, that is 768 Hertz. So along with 256 Hertz, we may get 512 Hertz, 768 Hertz. These also we can get, and these all are known as subsidiary or secondary vibration. The subsidiary vibration are of small amplitude. Now the resultant vibration, then what is the resultant vibration that we will get from that instrument? That is the superimposition of all these vibration, that is principal and all the subsidiary, what we are getting from that particular instrument. That is the resultant vibration, and that is gives a waveform of that particular sound from that particular instrument, what is coming out, and that we are getting in our ear. We can hear it. Am I clear? So the quality of musical sound depends on the number of subsidiary notes. Please note that the quality of the musical sound depends on the number of subsidiary notes and their relative amplitude present in it along with the principal note, as I told you. This all together is giving you the quality of the musical sound. Different instruments produce different subsidiary notes. A note played on a piano has a large number of subsidiary notes. Thus, one can easily distinguish between the sounds of a piano and flute by their different waveforms, though they may be of exactly same loudness and pitch. Just see here in this diagram, this is the waveform of a tuning fork and this is the waveform of a piano. Just see that in both the cases the amplitude is A. So that means they are having the same amplitude. That means their loudness is same. And the frequency is also same. So their pitch is also same. But their waveform is different. Because the piano, the instrument piano, is giving you a large number of subsidiary notes. That is why their waveform is also different from a tuning fork. Tuning fork is giving you only one frequency, that is your monotone. It is showing you the monotone. It is only the principal note is there. So it is giving you the waveform like that, but the piano is giving you the waveform like this. Okay. Recognizing two sound sources by quality. Each vibrating body emits characteristic waveforms, which makes it possible to recognize the vibrating body even without seeing it. Without seeing only we can say that which instrument is being played. This is the reason why one can recognize a person's voice over telephone even without seeing him. Okay, without seeing the person only, if you'll hear the voice of that person, you can say over the telephone, you can say that this person is talking. Similarly, one can recognize sound notes from two different musical instruments as because they produce different waveforms. I told you that. Factors affecting the different characteristic of sound may be summarized as, this is very important to learn. Loudness, the factors is amplitude. Pitch is a characteristic, the factor is frequency, and the quality or timbre is the characteristic, the factor is waveform. Please learn this. Now along with this, the chapter sound ends here. Go through the videos properly. Try to understand what is written, what is said in the video, and for better understanding, please consult your book.